Welcome to the Scotty Low Show, boys and girls, and fellow Americans. How are we doing this fine evening? It is the end of Sunday Fun Day. Got my best Sunday sunset shirt on, but it will be Monday to you guys joining in today. How are we all doing? Lots to talk about, lots going on. It's sad to say. I almost want to start with a moment of silence. That would be terrible podcasting etiquette. But the United States hockey team Cinderella run is finally over. They lost to Canada in overtime. We covered that last week. Kind of feel like definitely had to show some respects to the boys for almost taking home the chip. We had some people speaking of chip, people were getting a little chippy in the comments on the last episode. We had somebody saying that America hockey was the first place loser since 1996, which I only have to say is we've been first place in freedom since 1776. All right, brother. All right. And there's no doubt about that. But wow, it was a great tournament. Can't wait to see it again next year. There was a lot of reasons why, they might not have been able to get it done. Injuries. Canada had some sloppy line changes. Especially, they had like six dudes out there right before they had the goal to tie it up. But, we'll see them next year. So for the rest of the year, you just got to eat. Go ahead, and if you have any maple syrup in the cupboard, go ahead and dump that out. And for the rest of the year, we'll eat our pancakes and waffles with Jack Daniels, I think. Or something, or maybe barbecue sauce. That'll work. But yeah, and I was scrolling the internet, and I think, I thought those reasons, like I was saying before, might have been the reason why USA, didn't win. But then I saw, I've never seen anything like this before. It's might be the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll share it with you guys now. This is titled "Get Naturally High with Me Through Laughter Yoga at Joy Camp." This is quite possibly be why America lost to Canada right here.
Really make sure you get, really zapped. Get zapped, right? Get zapped into laughter.
This is terrifying. So this is a sober. They're in the woods. There was a lot of dudes wearing pink. Oh, he's going, ooh, zap. Oh my God. Imagine being on mushrooms or something, camping, and then just coming around on a hike, and this is what you see. A bunch of crazy sober people laughing uncontrollably in the forest. That'd be the scariest thing of all time. I'm ever since, I've may or may not have had recurring nightmares about this video since I've seen it. And I could say that, is that a possibility for the reason that U.S. couldn't take home the gold in the Four Nations face-off? I don't know, but no one's definitely disputing the fact. I was thinking about that. There's so much talk about, immigration and stuff like that, but I guarantee you, if you just showed them this clip right here, right when people were trying to cross over the border, and this is what America is. They just see all these crazy white people just laughing in the woods. They would turn right the fuck back around, dude. Like, no, it's not worth it over there, man. Oh man. But yeah, shout out to USA for holding it down. Speaking of sports, last night we had a huge primetime marquee matchup. The Lakers with Luka and LeBron both out there going up against Joker in the Nuggets with a fully healthy Jamal Murray, who looked pretty good last night too. Luka put up 32. Braun was somewhere in the 20s. Reeves had 21. So did Rui. It was great. We'll throw up some Luka highlights right now. Some Luka magic. Bang. Yeah, so definitely Luka. He was, kind of talking smack and yelling, and he was definitely locked in. He was hitting a lot of threes, and as a Laker fan, like, this is what you hope to see. Their defense is locked in. If the boys keep playing like this, it's not crazy to think of us going on a championship run this year. What I will say is if LeBron wins a championship at age 40, that will, I can already imagine the ESPN 30 for 30, but they'll have to call it 40 for 40, right? It's going to feed generations of families. I would say it's going to feed generations of families for basketball eternity, I guess. That's going to be awesome. Look forward to that. Also look forward to them going up against the Mavs. Wish AD was healthy and we could see that. But yeah, that was definitely awesome. What another breaking LA news, I guess this happened today. The LA mayor, Karen Bass, has fired the LA fire chief amidst all of the, I guess, mishandlings of these tragic fires we had in LA about a month ago. So let's see what Mayor Karen Bass has to say, the ever so popular.
Los Angeles Public Safety and for the operations of the Los Angeles Fire Department, I just met with Chief Crowley and removed her as fire chief. I have appointed a 41-year veteran of the fire
who's next?
department, former Chief Deputy Ronald Villanueva, as
Interim fire chief.
He is respected and ready to hit the ground running.
Plot twist, he's trans.
Our firefighters acted heroically during the Palisades fire.
Oh, no.
Single day.
I hopefully this interim chief, Ronald Villanueva, wish him the best of luck, and we definitely could use some help here with all these fires. It wasn't even the fire season. We got a fire season coming up in the summertime, so definitely hope someone a bit more qualified, I guess, than the last representative was in there. I will say, though, the fire chief is getting bus rolled. All right. I guess also right now, the mayor, Karen Bass, is coming under investigation or something like this because she had prior knowledge of the Santa Ana winds, which ended up causing the fires, before leaving on a vacation trip to Ghana, which is in Africa, which is very far away from Los Angeles, if something very bad were to happen, which it did. And so this is one of those things. She's catching a lot of heat right now, so she's got to fire anybody that she could blame for it. And, keep that in mind next time it comes to vote here in L.A. Do you want either one of these, people going? Maybe Rick Caruso will give it another shot. I think he would definitely be good. Actually, another Democrat for the city of Los Angeles, but a very, very successful businessman and, narrowly lost last time. So hopefully we can get him in next time if he decides to run again. Also, I know we talked a little about this last time, but DOGE and Elon, the Department of Government Efficiency, cannot stay out of the spotlight in the news right now. It's everywhere. Everything you see is Doge. People are getting fired left and right. People are upset. Elon's acting kind of wonky and funky and just, a little weird, I guess we could say, right? And yeah, it's tough. Like I feel like what Elon and Doge is trying to do is, ultimately should be a good thing, right? Like the government is bloated, we're trillions of dollars in debt. Should we cut some of that? And they're talking about even giving it back to American citizens as dividends. They're floating around the idea of not having income tax. Those are all good things. But what I will say is a lot of times you can have good things and the packaging might not be great, right? Like you could have, here in California, we have In-N-Out Burger. People say it's the best burger in the world. You get the In-N-Out Burger. It's so beautiful. The bun is perfect every time. The wrapper is perfect. The little bun is just sticking out and the burger's just kind of looking at you and you can smell it and it's red and it's white and on the bottom of it there's like a Bible verse every time, right? And it's great, right? The packaging's excellent. It's nostalgic. It goes perfectly with it, right? You go to Chick-fil-A, the chicken sandwiches are great, right? They put it in that really good, like half metal, half paper bag, right? That they fold it all up and it keeps it nice and crispy and tender in there. And same thing, they got beautiful Chick-fil-A packaging, and on the bottom it says something about don't be gay or something. Right? But but the packaging, it makes sense, right? Maybe not the last part for Chick-fil-A, but anyways, so imagine if In-N-Out Burger, right, which we all love, everybody loves In-N-Out, everybody loves Chick-fil-A, right? Like imagine if it was like wrapped in, I don't know, like the first thing that comes to mind is poop, right? Like that'd be bad packaging, right? Like if it was in a dog poop bag, even if it was a new dog poop bag, they just gave you the burger in the bag, you'd be like, this is terrible. It could be the best burger ever, but the packaging is not good. So I think what I'm trying to say here is Elon needs to work on the packaging. Let's see him here now. He's at this is CPAC, which is the conference fucking, I don't know. It's something conservative, America, who cares? Does not matter. This is what's made the headlines. He's come out. He's kind of got like a Neo vibe, but he's about to get a chainsaw. See, I don't know whatever this up with this conference, but the music going on and the graphics and everything, this seems like some type of multi-level marketing conference. Like this looks like it should be an Herbalife conference, some type of like a bunch of people that are going to go door to door and scam you or something like that are in here. Just like the music, and he's got the big chainsaw, and this is for bureaucracy. Yeah, I get it. He's having fun, but it's just it's a little much. The packaging's a little off, right? And hopefully he could work on that and everything, because if the packaging's no good, you people aren't going to eat your burgers. That's all I'm trying to say. Right? Also, I saw this on the news. This was right before they had some type of governor's ball, and Trump, unlike Biden, This man is never not on TV. I mean, this man he's figured out a way to have some type of press conference, some type of interview every single day. He is not afraid of the limelight whatsoever. And here he is, the orange man himself with the orange tie or salmon. I don't know. I'm colorblind.
An executive order banning men from playing in women's sports.
He's talking about banning men in women's sports.
Democrats are fighting me on that. I hope you continue because you'll never win another race. That's the only thing we're checking. Are they receiving it? Because if they're receiving it, that makes it much worse.
Are they receiving what?
Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine?
See, and now this is where he gets personal. Where's Maine at?
Not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good.
See
I'll
you
see
in
you
court.
I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
This should be a real easy one.
And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be an elected politician.
I don't think you're going to be elected. See, you get a little too personal there. See, again, the packaging, that's a tough packaging to sell right there. Like that's what I feel like that's what ends up, making people so polarized that, in this country right now between the left and the right is people might even agree with some of the stuff that Trump might be saying from, maybe not on this issue or maybe on this issue or maybe others, but he makes himself by attacking, this is too personal. But then again, at the same time, not to play devil's advocate too much, I'm speaking from personal experience here. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. I've been fired from a good amount of them. I've quit a good amount of them too, and I'm really good at getting a job, right? I'm great in the interview process. It's kind of like a podcast, but where you just lie the entire time, right? But what I'm going to say from personal experience, at the end of the day, I don't know much about this governor from Maine, but Trump is her boss. And, if you're I've been in so many meetings, right? And when your boss is talking in a meeting, he doesn't want to hear anybody else. That's so even, I have to kind of respect her, whether you agree with it or not, for holding her ground, right? But at the end of the day, you don't want to in front of everybody else. You don't want to get in a back and forth like that with your boss because, it's usually not going to work out well for you. And, with this between, what's going on this week with, this video of Trump and then the video of Elon with the chainsaw, it reminds me of something so beautiful that we have in football here in the NFL. We have what's called a get back coach. And there's a very famous get back coach here in Los Angeles. I love to shout out my Rams, every chance I get. And let's just you could look what I'm looking at, because basically they have somebody in the NFL where his whole job is to make sure that the head coach, Sean McVay, doesn't run into shit because he's so fired up while calling plays. He doesn't run into the refs. He doesn't run into the other players. He doesn't, trip over the first down chains. Just watch what I'm talking about. Now we don't need this music. Right there. See, you got to grab him. There you go. Right in safety. And look at him too. He's he's a good, great in shape guy. Come on in, just nice little grab on the hip. Make sure that he doesn't get too far out there. He doesn't get himself into too much trouble, right? Doesn't get himself hurt, right? Come here, come here, come here. See, there you go. Come here, come here. Oh, nice and gentle. It's almost like he's on the back of a motorcycle. How you would hold somebody. And what I'm trying to say is, I think Elon and Trump need themselves like their own get back coach, right? Like when Elon, he goes out on stage and he's wearing the dark gothic MAGA hat that he calls it, right? And he's got some weird like gold chain that's like jingling everywhere, and he's out there with a chainsaw, and he's just kind of being his off the spectrum self. He needs, that's where he needs the get back coach to come in, just someone to come in right behind him, grab him on the hips, and just bring him in. Hey, maybe not, maybe that's a little too much. Just bring him in tight. And then same thing with Trump. I mean, that's why people like him. He speaks whatever the hell is on his mind. But in this country, we're too divided right now. We need to all come in together, not unlike how the get back coach brings Sean McVay back in together. We need that, but Trump needs that too. You start talking about making you're getting a little too personal at the business meetings, at the governor meetings, whatever the case might be. You get to just bring it in. And, maybe we all need a get back coach in our life, We all get a little too overboard sometimes, and you just need a nice, firm, yet soft, reach around, grab from the hips, pull you in tight, keep you out of danger. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. Last thing in Politico that I will talk about. A bill in Ohio is making a lot of headlines here. It's called Conception Begins at Erection Act. And basically what's happening here is, during the election, a big talking point for both sides was the abortion, the issue of abortion, right? During Trump's presidency, they reversed Roe v. Wade, and, the power to have abortion in your state basically went back to the states. Most states still have it. Some big ones like Alabama and Texas, it's much harder to get one now if you can at all, right? And that's a big, and that's a very polarizing issues for both people, right? So, they made women's rights was a big talking point, I guess, for during the election. And now you have, when I first heard this, I thought this was like a crazy, almost like Bible Belt thing here to put chastity belts on men, right? That's what I thought. But then I guess it's a Democratic lawmaker says you don't get pregnant on your own. Representative Anita Samani says if you're going to penalize someone for an unwanted pregnancy, why not penalize the person who is also responsible for the pregnancy? So basically what it comes down to here is that any man who ejacts, I guess, that isn't planning on having a baby, right? So I'm trying to dance around this too much. I guess what is this world coming to, right? Or what is Ohio coming to? So basically they want to fine men $10,000 every time you bust a load without having a baby. And, that sounds like such a crazy thing to happen. How could they ever do this? And, yeah, it's definitely one of those, bills that's made to just make headlines. And it definitely did. And what I will say is it would be hilarious if it did happen. And, again, I don't live in Ohio, I've only been to Ohio once. Cleveland was fun. But, so this wouldn't affect me whatsoever. So I think it would be absolutely hilarious if they did do it. And I just, my mind is running crazy how they would keep track of it. Like, would you have to, like, weigh your balls every morning? Would there be an official checker? Like, I'm going to just, like, put the gayest person I could think of on the screen right now, to make this segment a little funnier, and then say that he's going to be the official ball wearer, right? So it would be hilarious if they did this again, just only because it doesn't affect me. And it's pretty funny. But this is a real article. This is a real bill. I doubt it'll get passed, but if it did, it'd be hilarious. Sorry to dudes that live in Ohio. It's going to be expensive this summer. Or just keep them balls blue. If you want to keep them your pockets fat, you got to keep your balls blue in the state of Ohio. Keep your bread up, guys. Also, the last thing I want to talk about here, we talked about how there's all these plane crashes going on the last few months. There's so many plane crashes, and nobody can really figure out why these planes keep crashing. And the Delta plane crash that was in Toronto, I guess, visually, it was so freaky, right? The plane was upside down. Well, now new footage has released of not only, the plane upside down, but as it's landing, you see it coming in a little hot, right on the snow, and then it just Tokyo drifts, fully on fire, and then just rolls right over, capsizes. And that is terrifying. If you're watching this from the runway, you're just going to assume there is no survivors, because all you see right here is just black smoke, and it literally just hit the Tokyo drift, and then that was like I said, absolutely terrifying. So, as scary as that is, and I can only imagine how freaky it would be to fly right after that, right? And what I like to say is, like, right now, if you're gonna get yourself on a plane, you need to get yourself close to God. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. You do not want to be taking your chances as an atheist up in the sky right now. You got to get yourself with some type of God when you're up there. You do not want to be raw dogging the skies right now without the Lord, right? Shout out to my boy JC, always keeping me safe up there when we do fly. Keeping me safe up here on the 69th floor in the 3,500 square foot penthouse apartment here in beautiful downtown LA, and the saddest part about this, I guess, so far is Delta has offered everybody on the plane that was on fire, flipped upside down, hanging from the top, right? You're hanging from the top, upside down. The blood's rushing to your head. It's terrible, right? I seen a video. The guy's getting the people out, and he kind of like pushed someone's butt like a little too much. Like, that's awkward. That's uncomfortable, right? And this is the time where you need to get yourself a really good lawyer, right? This would be a time to make an easy Jewish lawyer joke or something like that. But you would need to get yourself a good lawyer, because right now, let's just say, if I was your lawyer, you come to the negotiation table, Delta slides over a check, right? They slide it over. They say, I just need you to sign right here. It's going to take care of a lot of your problems. $30,000 can change your life. And then, you look at it, talk to me, talk to my lawyer, and say, this is insulting, right? I would say this is insulting. You left a few zeros off of this. We'll start here, all right? 30 million. That's where I would start. If I was a Delta passenger, I would start at 30 million. I would say your offer sounds great, but you were missing a few zeros. I'm sure it's a typo. I'm sure you could talk to accounting and we could get this straightened out real easy. That's what I would say. 30,000 definitely does not seem like enough. 30,000, I mean, that's what my water bill here was last month. The 3,500 square foot, 69th floor, penthouse apartment here in beautiful downtown LA. You know, when you have Italian marble, heated floors, and a 12-person jacuzzi bathtub, right, in each bathroom, right? Because, you know, sometimes me and my fiance, we like our separate baths, right? So that's a lot of water to heat. And $30,000 would barely put a dent in that for maybe a month or two. And so if I was them, and again, thank God I was not on that flight, right? Because it would have been embarrassing. I'm sure I would have been very scared. But I would start at 30 million. If you end up at 3, it's a lot better than 30,000. Right. But that's basically all I got for you guys today. We're going to try to crank out 2 of these a week. One on Monday. We'll release on Monday. One will release on Friday. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll try to get an audio episode up on Apple and Spotify as well, too. Thank you so much. Be good to your neighbor, right? Less fear, more love, right? You guys, make sure you have an awesome week. We'll see you on Friday. Stay vigilant. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.